Hi vinyl community, Mike here, and this video is a thread to celebrate me getting to 300 subs. I've been making videos in the vinyl community now for about 9 months, and about a week ago I reached the milestone of 300 subs. So I'd just like to thank everybody who's subscribed to my channel, everyone that's watched my videos, and especially I'd like to thank people who take the time to comment on my videos. I like the interaction, I like the feedback, and I like the encouragement that I get. So, thank you one and all for watching what I do. So, what I thought I'd do with this thread is when I was thinking back to, my days, my many years of collecting records, there are certain bands that I didn't really get into when they first came out. So, I was collecting records at the time that their first album came out, but for whatever reason, I just didn't buy it. So what I've done is I've chosen 5 artists here that fall into that category. And as I say, I love all of these artists now. And I'll do it in chronological order. So starting way back in 1972, it's Roxy Music. Now, Roxy Music are a band that I did like their first single, Virginia Plain. I thought was fantastic, and I think I bought it at the time. And the second single, Pajama Rama, that was great as well. But when I listened to this album, it just didn't really do it for me. I don't know why, because there's some brilliant tracks on here. We've got Latertron and 2HB, Would You Believe? Brilliant tracks, and it's a really nice album. Not my favourite Roxy Music album, but certainly a very good one. And it was probably sometime in the mid-80s when I thought, well, I'll give Roxy Music a go again. And now I really love them. And the album that I probably like the most is this one. It's their second album, and that's from 1973. And of course, it's For Your Pleasure. I think this is a great album. Do the Strand, the opening track on side one, everyone will know that, absolutely fantastic. And all the way through, tracks are fantastic. In Every Dream, Home a Heartache, rather strange song. And it finishes off with For Your Pleasure, the title track. So that's the first artist that I've learnt to love over the years, and that's Roxy Music. The second one is a singer who came to prominence about 1977-78, and it's Kate Bush. And of course, her first single, Wuthering Heights, was absolutely massive here in the UK, and I think around the world. I think everybody knows it. This is her debut album from 1978, and it's called The Kick Inside. And the thing about Kate Bush is when she first came on the scene, I thought she was a bit of a novelty act, really. And I kind of dismissed her. She used to be on just about any chat show you can imagine. And, she was doing her massively choreographed dancing and, all very theatrical, very sort of stage school, I thought. And I didn't really give her a second thought. But again, over the years, I've really come to love Kate Bush, and there are 3 singles I think on this album. Of course, there's Wuthering Heights is on here, The Man with the Child in His Eyes, and Them Heavy People. But the other album I'd like to show, not my favourite album by hers, but it's her third album from 1980, and it's called Never Forever. Now, my favourite album is probably The Dreaming, which, I think is a real masterpiece. But this, is a lovely album as well. Again, it's got singles on it. Babushka, which is the opening track, Breathing, and Army Dreamers, I think, probably my favourite single by Kate Bush. So that was somebody else. Again, it was probably sometime, mid to late 80s when I really, sat up and noticed Kate Bush. Right, so moving on to the next band, who are probably one of my favourite bands, full stop, and that's Saint Etienne. So it's Sarah Cracknell, Bob Stanley, and Pete Wiggs, and this, of course, is their debut album, Fox Base Alpha. And I think I got into Saint Etienne around about the late 90s, sometime possibly when their album Good Humour came out. There's a single on there called Sylvie, I believe, that is really quite nice. But you know, the track that really stands out for me and really got me into them was a cover that's on Fox Base Alpha, and it's Only Love Can Break Your Heart, which of course is a Neil Young song. And let's say, you know, I think this is an absolutely brilliant album, great sort of debut. But my favourite is their 8th album, and that's Words and Music. I love the cover of this. I think it's really good. And, you know, tracks on here, again, the opening track, Over the Border, I think is fantastic. 25 Years, I love that. And Last Days of Disco, which, again, is a track that probably quite a few people know. And Saint Etienne, I don't think I was really too aware of them. You know, back in the very early 90s, when they were first sort of coming out, you know, they're very much from the London indie dance scene, which was something that I wasn't really paying attention to at the time. And again, it was probably, you know, as I say, you know, around about sort of the late 90s when I really sort of stood up again and thought, yeah, Saint Etienne, they're a band for me. Another band that I wasn't really aware of when they first started making music, and this is Stereolab. So the core of Stereolab is Tim Gain and Laetitia Sadier. Laetitia Sadier, French singer. And the band were formed in the UK. They're an Anglo-French, I suppose, avant-pop, electronic, with sort of hints of krautrock. And I think they're absolutely brilliant. Let's say this album came out in 1992. Tracks on here, Super Falling Star, K-Stars. Then there's Mellotron. That's one that I really love. And yeah, they're really great. So my favourite, probably my favourite, because it changes from time to time, because so many of their albums are just great. And this is it. This is their 5th album. It's from 1997, and it's called Dots and Loops. And there's actually a single on this album called Miss Modular, and my favourite track is probably Diagonals. So there you go, from the 1990s, a band that I didn't really discover until probably about 2010, and that's Stereolab. And finally, the 5th band I'd like to show you are Mogwai. And Mogwai are best known for soundtracks, I think, and it was a soundtrack that sort of got me into listening to them. Until then, they'd really sort of passed me by. And this is their soundtrack, Le Revenant, which is a French sci-fi horror TV series that was shown on British TV. It's set in a small town in the French Alps where departed loved ones start coming back from the dead, and it gets more and more mysterious. But you know, the soundtrack on the television program was by Mogwai, and I thought, yeah, I really need to listen to those guys. So I'll show you their debut album, and this is Young Team, and it's from 1997, and the whole thing. There you go. And I think this is a really fantastic debut. It's a really good album. But the other album I want to show you is this one. And it's their album before last. It's their 9th studio album, although they've had numerous soundtracks as well. So it's probably about their 20th album altogether if you count the soundtracks. But there it is. It's Every Country's Son, and it's nice, a nice box set. And what you get with this is you get a CD of the album, and you get the album itself if I can find it. There it is. There we go. It's a nice double album, and you know, tracks on here include AK-47, which is a favourite of mine. I think side D is probably the best side altogether. It's got Battered at Scramble, which is the opening track on side 3, and then it finishes with the title track, Every Country's Son. But in the box, not only do you get the double album, but you get this. It's a bonus 12-inch, and this is a selection of demos and remixes from the album. And there's 6 altogether. And finally, what you get is a nice set of photographs on a really nice card. Yeah, there they are, various sort of landscapey pictures in the woods in the winter. Seems to be the theme here. That's another lovely one. That one. And okay. And finally, there you go. So, as I say, these are 5 artists that I really love, and as I say, particularly Saint Etienne and probably Mogwai as well. Two bands that I absolutely adore, and they kind of passed me by when they first started. So, what I'd like you to do if you can find the time is to have a go at this yourself and show me the artists that you really love now that you didn't really catch up with until some years after they first started. So have a go, please, and if this goes well, I've got an idea for a contest as well. So we'll see how that goes. So until next time, bye.